What's up, people? What's up? It's me again, L Teddy 27. It's Angry Teacher Chronicles, and this is my review for Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4. And let's just get right down to it. Talked to some of my friends, and they were, prepared for and expecting this major letdown after the epic Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3, which is easily one of the greatest television programs ever broadcast across, the small tube. Anyway, I wasn't disappointed. Like, this gave you, because we only have what? After this episode, I think there are 2 episodes left, maybe, something like that. So they don't have time to fuck off. So let's get right down to it. So we start off with them having to mourn the dead, and you're remembering what we just went through. And they have to, as they do, as is customary with them, they burn their dead. And so you see Sir Jorah, you see Theon, you see what's my girl name, Lyanna Mormont, Lady Mormont. And they died. They went out like G's, and they're gone. And they're burning them. And also the guy with the one eye who died like 89 times, him too. Everybody's being burned, and all of the soldiers and people who died, men and women. So my thing is, Daenerys, if you claim that you have rightful heir to the throne and bitches need to call you your grace and you supposed to be this bad bitch, this is a time for leadership. And when you have people that are in the aftermath and immediacy of this epic battle and you won. And yes, you have to, mourn and dispose of those that are dead. That was the opportunity for her to establish herself as a leader and speak up and really to speak up and really just make people feel, give some people some sense of comfort and solace, because that's what leaders do in times of great tragedy. You get in front of the people and you speak to them and you bring them back to, a place where they can feel comfortable and they can start to grieve and mourn, and they can feel like, okay, you know what? Inevitably, it'll get better. She didn't do that. She left that to Jon Snow. And Jon Snow gave some great words, but I couldn't shake the fact that, hey, bitch, you claim that you are the person who wants to lead the people, but in the time where the people need a leader, you're not leading. That's what I took from that scene. Then you got, they go and they start to celebrate, of course, like you should. And then, so there was this moment where Daenerys calls Gendry over to her. We know Gendry is the bastard child of Robert Baratheon. And she goes through all of this stuff. Her whole tone of voice just, I told y'all last episode, just hearing her voice at this point just bothers my spirit. So she calls him over there, and long story short, she makes him the Lord of Storm's End, which is where Robert Baratheon is from. And it was a political ploy for her to try and, by her making him the Lord, because he didn't feel like he had rightful heir since he's a bastard. And she was like, no, if I tell you you got it, then you got it. I mean, she's making all of these decisions and declarations and stuff, knowing full well she does not have rightful claim to the throne, which bothered my spirit, which to me is the kiss of death for her. I can see Daenerys dying before this is all said and done. I don't think that she's going to make it to the end. Let the record show that I said it here. I do not see Daenerys making... Now, she might, but I don't see her making it to the end without dying. I just don't. I certainly don't see her on the Iron Throne. Certainly don't see that. Um, but yeah, she, because even the way she did it, she was like, "Well, aren't you Robert Baratheon's son, bastard son? Well, he overthrew my father. Just it was just a mess. I just don't like Daenerys. Me and her, we fell out a couple seasons ago. All right. Um. So, but there was a lot that went on at this celebration. One of which was, um, um, ginger dude, wildling dude, um, God, giant whatever name dude. You know who I'm talking about? The dude with all of the beard and ginger hair, the wildling guy who likes Brienne of Tarth. Um, he was going on and on about how Jon Snow is this great guy and how he's a true king and a true leader, how he done died and came back alive and so forth and so on. And Daenerys is listening to this and she is becoming very self conscious and getting, in her feelings about the fact that people see Jon Snow as more of a king than they see her as a king. But it is what it is. You know what it is, Daenerys. Just stop. Lord Varys hears this. Well, he doesn't hear this because she doesn't say anything. But Lord Varys is on the side like he always does, watching this all. He's watching how people are talking about Jon Snow, and he sees Daenerys's, her facial expressions and her uneasiness that she has. Then we had, and so they had that celebration. There was a lot of drinking. There was a great conversation between Sansa and the Hound, where Sansa had to acknowledge to the Hound, yeah, I was Little Bird back then, when way back season one, or what was that, season one or season one? Yes, when he tried to help her escape, and he told her, hey, had you come with me, you wouldn't have had to go through all of this stuff with Ramsay Bolton and Littlefinger and all of this that you had going on. She was like, but she basically said I needed that because had I not been through that, I would still be the little bird. um Gendry goes and proposes to Arya. She turns him down. I really feel like Arya does like Gendry, but Arya is on this mission. And I think the turn off for Arya is when Gendry says, I'll make you lady of, um what's the place? I'll make you lady of Storm's End. And I think that kind of turned her off and it made her remember, no, I'm not a lady. I need to go on my mission. And so, but I really do think, even though we probably won't see it, but I really think like after it's all said and done, if she's still alive and he's still alive, they may end up together. Because she was like, I'm not a lady. It made me think about my favorite movie, Clue. Where, and for those people who know the movie Clue, one of my favorite scenes is where Yvette, Miss Scarlet tells Yvette, has the little pictures of Miss Scarlet, Yvette and Colonel Mustard having sex, and she says, wouldn't you like to see these pictures, Yvette? And Yvette says, no, Missy, I am a lady. She said, how do you know what kind of picture they are? You're such a lady. And so when Arya said, I am a lady, I thought about Yvette when she said, I am a lady. Anyway, sidebar. Y'all get it? Oh well, as I digress. All right, so Jamie goes, after it's all said and done, Jamie took his ass over to Brienne of Tarth's room. Hold on, I need to drink of this coffee for that. Mm, 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 mm. I thought Brienne was gonna turn him down for a little second. Brienne had to get that dick, honey. Brienne say, baby, I am getting that dick, honey. Woo, child. Because this was after Brienne lied during the little game her, Tyrion, and Jamie was playing. Because she lied and said that, because they asked her was she a virgin, and she lied she was supposed to drink. She never drank. So I guess Jamie wanted to make sure she wasn't a liar. And Jamie went in there and knocked them walls down. He climbed that mountain. Child, whatever. Child, I'm glad they didn't show it. Anyway, Daenerys, we then see Daenerys goes to Jon's room. And Daenerys tells Jon she sees kind of like the writing on the walls about her not sitting on the Iron Throne and Jon perhaps doing it, sitting on the Iron Throne. She goes to him and she tries to make him promise not to tell anybody. And he's like, no, bitch. No means no, and yes means no. I gotta go tell Sansa and Arya because they are my family. Bitch, I know I just found out you my family, but them always been my family my whole life. And they are my family. They might be my cousins, but they still my family, and we grew up brother and sister. So he was like, nah, I gotta tell them. And it was like Daenerys was giving him an ultimatum because he was like, "Can we still be together?" And she was like, "Not if you don't tell them." And he was like, really having no pause. He was like, "I gotta tell them," because she was giving him an ultimatum, which I didn't like. Girl, you know, once you found out Daenerys, you knew it was over. Let it go. Shut it down. Okay. Um. Then we see they're in like the war room strategizing how they're going to try to take King's Landing. And during part of the, I mean, they acknowledge they lost half their troops. They lost half of their troops, so they've been decimated. So basically, when they had the upper hand prior to the battle for Winterfell, in terms of their numbers, now their numbers are basically even, and so yeah. How's that going to work out? But anyway, they came up with this strategy about surrounding King's Landing and not allowing food to get in there so that people could starve and perhaps turn against Cersei. You know Cersei had a plan for all that. So Sansa tells Daenerys, "Hey boo, it's not time. We need to hold off for a little while. Let the troops, they just had a hard battle. Let them heal and recover." And Daenerys was having no parts of it. She was like, "Bitch, I done came all this way, brought all my troops and everything. I wasn't coming here to fight the White Walkers at first. I came here to beat that bitch, Cersei. And I'm going to go do that. Because we done did the White Walkers. I done came here and did what y'all needed me to do. Bitch, I'm going to get Cersei." Sansa was like, "Okay, bitch, whatever. Do what you want to do." Like, Sansa was not here for it. Sansa haven't been here for that bitch since she got to Winterfell. When they leave, it was something that Daenerys said that incensed, that you could tell made Arya, in that meeting, that made Arya and Sansa upset. I can't remember at this moment, and I feel like I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. Anyway, at the end of that meeting, when everybody walking out, Arya and Sansa go up to Jon. "Hey boo, we need to talk." After that, they go to the little tree or whatever, and it's Bran, Arya, Sansa, and Jon, all of the remaining Stark children. Jon tells them who he is. Jon has Bran tell them who he is. Because they was like, "Bitch, we not here for this bitch. Yes, she came. Yeah, we needed her, so forth and so on. But we're not here for this bitch. Fuck that hoe and fuck her life." And so Jon was like, and Bran knew, and Bran didn't say nothing. Bran was like, "You got to make that choice to tell him or not." And Jon told Bran, "Go ahead and tell him." So Bran told him, Sansa already ain't like that bitch. That's all the ammunition Sansa needed. We'll get back there in a second. So Bronn comes. Bronn comes from Winterfell because remember, Cersei had the Queen's hand give him the little bow to go and kill Tyrion and Jaime. Bronn shows up at Winterfell, and they're like, "Bitch, what the fuck you doing here? You shouldn't even be here. Bitch, what's going on? Why are you here?" Because they knew something was up. Bronn tells them, "Listen, that bitch sent me here to kill y'all. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. I don't like none of you Lannisters anyway. So I could go ahead and kill y'all and go ahead and," because she told me she would give me was it River Rock? She would give him one of the lands. I think it's the lands that the Lannisters came from. I think it was River Run. She said he was gonna give him. Anyway, Tyrion reminds, "Hey bitch, remember we made an oath together that anytime somebody made you or gave you money to kill me, I would give you double." He was like, and so Bronn was like, "What the fuck is double of River Run?" And so Tyrion was like, "High Garden." And so that appealed to Sir Bronn, and Bronn was like, "Okay, I'll keep you alive because I don't like that bitch Cersei anyway, and if that bitch dies, she can't keep up part of deal anyway. He was like, okay, I ain't gonna kill y'all for now, but make sure y'all always don't die on me. So that's the agreement that Tyrion makes with Bronn. Then Tyrion goes and talks to Sansa, and at that time, you can infer that Tyrion knew it was something wrong. Tyrion knew it was something wrong because at this point Sansa knows, and he tries to get Sansa to be on Daenerys' side. He tries to get Sansa to like Daenerys. Sansa's having no parts of it, especially after she done found out the information she done found out about her not being the heir to the throne. So they didn't show it because Tyrion says, talks to her, and Sansa says, well, what if there was a better choice? Or what if there was, somebody better? And so you can tell they didn't show it because they cut to the next scene, but you can tell she told him. She told Tyrion what she knew. After that, everybody starts leaving. Ginger guy with the beard who likes Brienne of Tarth, he leaves to go back to the north of the wall. The men from the Night Watch go back. Samwell goes back with Gilly, who's now pregnant. I'm happy for Samwell and Gilly, and I'm happy that Samwell and Gilly are finally having a child that will actually be Samwell's child. Tyrion, and so forth, they leave. And so now everybody's leaving to go to Winterfell to fight Cersei. On this ship, Tyrion and Lord Varys have a conversation. And Tyrion tells Lord Varys who Jon really is. And so Lord Varys was already, remember I told you Lord Varys was watching Daenerys earlier when they was having the celebration. Lord Varys is already, got off the Daenerys bandwagon. And so they're already contemplating, they're coming up with different scenarios about how this can work out. Tyrion is still trying to be on the side of Dany. Lord Varys is having no parts of it at this point. So they sail over there. Jon is coming with troops from the north, but they're coming by land. But Daenerys and the Unsullied, and Tyrion and Lord Varys, they come by sea. So they get there first. Baby, Cersei was sitting over there, had her troops sitting there waiting. They rolled up there by sea, thinking they was going to do something. Daenerys comes in with the dragons. First quarter, the bell just sounded. The first moments of the first quarter of the game starts. What happens? Boom, boom, boom. Down goes the dragon. Girl, we're not here for you and your dragons. Bitch, understand, it's not a fucking game. I told you that bitch Cersei is a mercenary. She don't give a fuck. Down goes the dragon. First quarter. Y'all ain't even had a chance to really get y'all feet on the ground. All the dragon into the water. Dead. So, after that, Euron Greyjoy and his troops start attacking. They, sink some of the ships. A lot of them, like Tyrion, the major ships that had Tyrion and Grey Worm and Missandei and stuff like that got attacked. They all end up in the water. Somehow, which I don't understand how they're going to have to make this make sense for me. But it did not appear to me that Euron's ships were close enough to their ships, Dany and them ships, for them to capture somebody. Because apparently they captured Missandei. Because when they made it to the shore, Grey Worm is like, Missandei. We try to see where they were, and then we see the next scene, and they captured her. And so I didn't feel like they were close enough to where Missandei could be captured. Because remember, Missandei was on the same ship with Grey Worm, and I think they would have saw one of the people from the other side coming over to capture her. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm thinking too far into this. But Cersei done captured Missandei. Lord Varys goes to Daenerys. He said, listen, you're in danger, girl. You do not need to proceed. You need to let this shit go. You're in danger, girl. Danny, she's at this point, besides, she's turning into the Mad Queen. Like her dad was the Mad King, she's turning into the Mad Queen. And so I think what Daenerys doesn't realize is happening is she's going back through probably what her father went through, you know? And how he became the Mad King, she's probably becoming the Mad Queen the same way. Lord Varys says, boo, you don't need to do this. She's like, I don't care what you say. Bitch, I'm going. She done kill all this. She done kill my child, the dragon. You ain't see that bitch kill my child? And my child land in the water? Bitch, you don't see Missandei go? She got Missandei. Good, I'm not here for Cersei. We finna fuck this bitch up. Lord Varys then goes and talks to Tyrion. They have a long talk about, okay, this shit is not finna end well. They contemplate Jon perhaps sitting on the Iron Throne. They contemplate, Tyrion keeps trying to say, well, maybe they can serve together. Lord Varys is like, boo, that's not an option. And Lord Varys at this point has completely gone away from even trying to get Daenerys on the throne. But you got know one thing about Lord Varys, he's not done by a long shot. So he gonna do what he got to do to stay on the right side. He don't fuck off now. Lord Varys. Toward the end, we're getting toward the end. So Brienne, we go back to Winterfell. They find out that about what happened. The fact that they lost some ships. That one of the dragons died. Cersei's not fucking off. Cersei done beat them. Oh, Sansa said to Jaime, "Oh, I was looking forward to going back to King's Landing to watch them kill your sister." And she says, "But I guess I'm not going to get that chance." And she kind of relished in it because she was like, "I don't like that bitch Daenerys anyway. I'm glad that bitch dragon died." Jaime hears this and goes, "Oh shit." Remembers that he loves his sister, Cersei. And when Brienne go to sleep, baby, he get his stuff packed up and he's going back to King's Landing to go get his sister. Brienne goes out there and begs him, please stay. No. And then Jaime starts to remind Brienne and remind himself, tell Brienne and remind himself of all of the horrible things that he's done on behalf of Cersei. And it's like him rekindling that fire and love that he has for Cersei in front of Brienne. And she sees this. Brienne starts boohoo crying because Brienne love her some Jaime. Especially now that he done dicked her down. Dig her down, 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 whatever. Then you got the epic standoff. Daenerys' troops, Cersei's troops at the wall. Tyrion goes up, tries to tries to talk to Cersei and tries to get her to, let this go. You can still stay alive. Your child doesn't have to die. Cersei has a moment where you kind of look like she feels like she may be, touched or have some feelings. Baby, Cersei looked over at Missandei. Baby, if you have any last words, boo-boo, now is the time for you to say them. Child. I thought perhaps Missandei would, say, you know what, fuck this shit, I ain't gonna let you take me out, and just jump off to her death. So Missandei goes, Dracarys. And I thought that maybe the dragons was gonna come out and The Last Dragon, great movie, was gonna come out and like burn everything. Bitch. That dragon did not flinch, did not move. The mountain sure did flinch. He got his ass up, pulled out this motherfucking sword, and chopped Missandei's head off. I think all of the black delegation of Game of Thrones watchers, simultaneously went, because hashtag them thrones. I mean, we're rooting for all the black people. So certainly with Missandei and Grey Worm being the last of the two, we were all like, baby, she gone. Grey Worm, my heart goes out to Grey Worm. I love me some Grey Worm. I fuck you up by Grey Worm. And that was it. That was it, y'all. And it went off like that. And so Daenerys is besides herself. Grey Worm, and Daenerys are both like besides themselves, and so I'm interested to see how this is gonna play out. What's gonna happen next week? Because now you know it's going down. The Mad Queen, I'm sure, will be, because that's what I'm gonna call her now. She's the Mad Queen now. That's what Daenerys is. And that was Game of Thrones, y'all. Tell me how y'all feel. Another great episode. I told y'all I was on Team Cersei from the beginning of the season. I told y'all she's a fucking mercenary. I don't like that bitch, but that bitch knows how to fight. That bitch is smart. That bitch knows how to stay alive. I can't stand that bitch, but the rest of these hoes got too much going on. Daenerys is stupid as fuck. Can't get out of her own head. Won't listen to reason. Jon Snow is over here pussy whipped. Tyrion is scared of Daenerys, and Lord Varys is just trying to keep himself alive. All these hoes got too much going on, except for Cersei, who's here for it and is like, bitch, what? But, yeah. That's all I got for y'all. I'll check y'all next time. See y'all next week. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.